day. It is 1 in the morning, and I'm tired. But I'm doing this. We're doing it. It's day 20. Yeah. It's day 20, you guys. Today I inventoried all the supplies from camp. Supplies! Normally I'm way more excited about supplies and about saying supplies, but I'm very sleepy. Yeah, it was a very productive day, and I felt like really proud of myself for being so productive, and big shout out to Mario D'Alicio. Thank you for all of your help. I think I'm one of those people that like I work better if somebody's like if I have a buddy, the buddy system, you guys, and so he came out and like it just was nice to have somebody there like, okay, can you move this? Okay, great, let's take a look at this. And then I could type things up as, he was pulling things out of the boxes. So that was nice to have that checked off the list because camp was only in July. And sure, it's September, and that's okay. That those supplies have been in my garage. It's fine. It's really nice to have that like crossed off the list. And then I was watching this movie with my roommate, and I think it was called Laggies. And Keira Knightley was in it, and she was like having a hard time figuring out what she wanted to do with her life, and like all of that, and like what her purpose was, and how she was supposed to decide what she was gonna do. And I was like, come on, that's where we're all at. That's the journey. But there is a line that gets delivered at the end by like her love interest, and he said, I never anticipated still having to find a place where I'd fit in by the time I was an adult either. I thought you automatically got one once you had a job and a family, but it's just you alone. And I started sobbing. I mean, sobbing. And I think it just like it struck me like, I've been I bought into the whole ideas of future, and like this is what your future looks like, and if you pick A, then your future looks like this. If you pick column B, your future looks like this. And I don't know what column I picked, but like there haven't been either of the options, and I am alone, and that is great most of the time. But there is that, um, awareness of that, and what that means as like a 33-year-old woman who's alone. And I think, like different family members, like how that hits them, and how their ideas of like what my life should look like and what should be happening in my world, or how my world should look, and like that has an effect. It naturally has an effect on me and on how I proceed and how I live my life. And I'm not saying like I let it like take over, but I I definitely feel the effects of like, okay, what do I do now? And how do I proceed? And do I quickly try and find a husband? And all of that, and like, of course the answer is no, that's not the journey for me. I'm clearly day 20 of self-love, trying to figure out how to love myself better and how to love the journey that I'm on. But it really was that that reconciling of it did. I did think that you get older and it just is like it's automatic. You fit in this one spot and that's where you go. And okay, great. And then you're happy. Um, and uh, and it's like this ever evolving journey of discovering happiness and discovering what happiness is for me and discovering that that may look different every day and that may look different every hour, um, but that is the journey that I'm on, is figuring out where I want to fit and and what new norms and what new ideas I want to perpetuate as far as the world, as far as like what an adult life looks like. And, but really like the sense of community, the sense of fitting, the sense of belonging, that was such a like socially accepted thought that you just get older and it's all okay. And it just all works. And it just is all like, you have a job and and it all works and you become older and like you start this family and well, but what if you don't start a family? Then what does family look like? What if you don't have a job? Then what does that all look like? Or what if you're freelance in film and television? Then what does that mean and where does that fit and how and all of that. So just it really just struck me as like, yeah, like I think there was this idea of like automatic, you get older and then you somehow know your place or you somehow fit and you somehow know where that is. And I think that it's that like feeling of like I'm still discovering that like kind of sometimes feels a bit uncomfortable, because it doesn't totally fit, and that like with what I think I was taught or society is like this is how it's supposed to look. Um, yeah, so it's just sitting in that and being okay with that and just kind of grieving and mourning that old idea, because I think it was a part of like this who I like who has value in the world, and if you don't fit and if you don't know your plan and if you aren't set up um, then you don't fit, and if you don't fit then you don't have value, and if you don't have value then you're worthless, and it just is like this whole thing of like okay, and just really sitting with that and sitting with how I feel about that and how I feel about creating my own where I fit and my own family and my own sense of all of that and what that looks like. Um, and that is still evolving. So, day 20, some real like deep stuff happening, but feeling good overall, just tired really. I'm really proud that like I'm checking things off the list and that things are moving and there's perpetual motion forward. Um, yeah. And it's Bring a Friend to Youth Group Sunday tomorrow. So I'm excited to see how that goes with all the teens. And just today I saw my teens for a little bit too. And I'm just remembering how much joy they bring to my world and how much joy youth brings to my world and how lucky I am to get to hang with them. Um, yeah, so I'm just feeling very, very blessed and very, very grateful right now. Um, Happy day 20, everybody. What brings you joy and makes you feel grateful? And what social ideas are you letting go of? and um, and really, deciding to make new choices for you, authentically for you. I love you. See you tomorrow.